I was just we were just talking about the podcast stuff. Who else besides Rogan?
Okay, Marin was my guy.
Okay, yeah, and that's how you got into it. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, shit.
I gotta be.
Like if you looked on your thing right now, who do you have?
That's the thing. I think I stopped listening.
Oh, you're just done
Because
you're doing your own shit.
No. All right. Now I'm going to get deep and fucking dark. I really do YouTube as opposed to doing like one of the apps for the podcast at this point. Do you guys know?
So you watch. Like, I don't watch anything. I listen to, like,
No, I see,
all the
but
podcasts.
I don't really watch it either. Okay, I'm a roofer, right? So if I have a crew with me, which is sometimes, we need to communicate. But if I'm on something myself and the guy's downstairs and holding my ladder or on the ground, and I'm up there, I'll pop in the earbuds and I'll listen to a podcast. Do you know who are these podcasts? Have you heard of them?
No.
You don't know.
No.
Do you know who Stuttering John Melendez is?
Stuttering John from Howard?
It was from Howard.
Okay.
You don't know what DabbleCon is, do you? Oh my God, I'm going to change your whole life. Okay. So yes, remember Opie and Anthony when you were kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember that? Anthony started his own network, okay?
Which one's the cool one?
Anthony.
All right.
Anthony's Kumia.
The one with guns.
All right, yes.
So
that guy's
Anthony
awesome.
started Compound Media.
Yep.
And I subscribe. And there's a plethora of shows on Compound Media. So 2 hours every day, at some point in my day, I listen to Anthony's show on Compound Media, okay? It's Monday through Thursday, so that's what I listen to a lot. He's got his people on there that have their own shows, but who are these podcasts is a thing. What they started, their niche was that they would go to, like, you know how Two Bears, One Cave, or is that what it's called? Right?
Sakura and Tom.
Yeah.
And,
so like
Bert.
when it's first started, it's got huge numbers out of the gate because Bert Kreischer and obviously Sakura. And I'm off Bert Kreischer, by the way. I just don't care anymore. Like, I've seen him in very small theaters before he was big. The Machine is great. I know the movie's coming. He's just a little oversaturated for my taste.
I'm not gonna spend the money to go see Bert when 2 years ago you could have seen him for a quarter of the price.
And I saw him 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the point.
And it just
like
seeing any, it's not just Bert, in my opinion. It's any of the comics that are coming and doing arenas or stadiums. It's like, well, then it's now a different thing.
We've
that
got
I
to
wanna
find the guys
be.
right
Like,
below him.
So no Bill Burr for you at all?
I've never seen him at this point. Like, if that's the only way to see him, I'll just.
Yeah, it is, right?
Then I'll just wait for this special to come out on Netflix or whatever it is.
When
Like,
Chappelle was still in hiding, my second wife, the one I cheated on, I cheated on a lot of them. The one I cheated on, she took me to see Chappelle. But when he was still like a thing, like he wasn't out, and it was at the Tweeter Center, I guess, over in Camden. And they said, listen, if you take your phone out of your pocket, you're getting bounced. So I took it seriously. I didn't pick up my phone, and some kid checked his email, and the fucking Fruit of Islam, do you know who that is? The Nation.
Oh, yeah, the brothers.
The Fruit of Islam. Literally, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
The Nation of Islam came and ejected him out of the fucking chair. This poor kid. And the tickets were like $1.50 each because Dave Chappelle's Dave Chappelle. And you guys remember Flight of the Conchords, that TV show on HBO?
Yeah.
You do? Thank God.
Yeah, Flight of the Conchords is great. I
It
love
is
all
fucking
those.
great. Dude.
Like, Taika Waititi's hilarious. Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
I own it.
What?
Fuck if I'd seen it.
Well, there's the movie, but then the TV show on
Fuck
Netflix.
the TV show. I want to fight over. You're wrong.
FX.
You're wrong.
They're both funny.
No, they're not.
Oh,
the
the
fucking
TV
movie is fucking amazing. It's amazing. The TV show's like,
The
I
TV
didn't
show
like
is
the
funny.
TV.
yeah, fuck the TV show. But the Wakiti guy's not Flight the Conchords. You know, he's not.
Isn't
that
he?
guy.
I thought he was part of that whole thing.
So it's Jermaine, right? Who is? Hold on. Oh, Vladislav the Impaler from the movie.
Yes.
I'm talking about. He's one of the guys, and then the other guy is just nobody. He's a musician, and they had the series. They were on tour with fucking Dave Chappelle.
Wow,
Can you
really?
imagine
The
that
Flight of the
night?
Conchords and Dave Chappelle.
Can you imagine?
That's a great for $150.
It was
that's
the
a great
greatest
ticket.
for $300 for two of us. I was like, this is fucking awesome. And so I've seen Dave live. It was a huge arena. I don't know, man. So I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to the beginning.
Yep.
Who are these podcasts? Takes the big podcasts and deconstructs them with clips and says this is stupid. And then they'll even attack little podcasts like ours, right?
Oh, that'd be nice.
But it makes you kind of famous.
Exposure.
He
Yeah.
got in a fight with Stuttering John. And now I'm not going to do this justice, and I apologize in advance. Carl from Who Are These Podcasts? I'm just a fan. I don't know Carl. I've emailed him, and he's written me back, but we're not, like, he's a thing. He's getting kind of famous from this. They had DabbleCon, which you know what that means. Okay. During the pandemic, John Melendez does an interview via Zoom, okay? He goes on Chrissy Mayer's show. You guys don't know who Chrissy Mayer is, do you?
Comedian?
She is a comedian. She's like a redhead. She's cute. She's on Compound Media, which is Anthony Cumia, which is the cool guy from O&A. Not the other guy. The other guy's a whole fucking thing. We'll fight with him too. Opie. Anyway, so Opie Hughes. That's it. Greg Opie Hughes. So John goes on, and she's a real comedian. And she's like, oh, John, what are you doing with your life? The pandemic, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, I heard you dabble in comedy. And he got really offended. He's like, I'm a fucking comedian. What do you mean dabble? And somebody wrote it down. And then when you go to Reddit, they made a whole thread of dabbler. So now DabbleCon has come out of that from 2 years ago. They just held it last weekend in fucking New York. 300 people sold out. DabbleCon. And they just showed videos of Stuttering John's podcast, which is the worst fucking podcast ever. He's so dirty in his shitty apartment, he has a roach walking across his jacket. And he's like, he's just, I got to send you clips. So I'm really sucked into this like sub world.
You're involved. So that's funny that you say that because there's a whole, when I'm talking about podcasts I listen to, we used to listen to Fighter and the Kid. Then they kicked off Brian. So they kicked off Brian, so I stopped listening to him because, like, I don't know. Maybe he did it, maybe he didn't. I don't know. It's fucking 20 years ago. Who gives a shit? The advertisers kicked him off. But then I think it was around before then, but they have a whole Reddit thread
aware.
Okay, are you on it?
I'm fucking aware.
I check in it with
Sounds like you're moderating the Reddit thread.
No, I've never
He's
been on
a
Reddit.
homeless cat.
I've never been on Reddit.
Huh.
Is that weird? I'm old, right? So I don't want, and then I'm a thing too. So there could be a thing on there I don't want to know about because I have a lot of people I've butted heads with over the years.
Ooh,
there could be
our StarSkream. Let's see what it is.
It really could. So I'm Vex, right? I bought IHateVex.com just so somebody else couldn't get it.
Preemptive.
Like for real. I used to go to the StarSkream stuff. But I don't want to go to Reddit because I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
That's hilarious because our first podcast look, I know I've got enemies out there. Fuck you. You can hate listen to me if you want. Because that's like when you were on that podcast, that's what I was doing. I was like, fuck these
you
guys.
were like, fuck that.
Yeah. Well, but then I'm listening to it and I'm like, you know what, man? Like, damn, they've got cool people on. I could do this.
You can do this. Anybody can do this. They literally, Alex, his band used to open up for StarSkream. Smacking Madison?
Smacking Madison, yeah.
Yeah, they opened up for us. So I made friends with them because they're opening band. They're great guys. He wrote me. He was like, how's your podcast? And I'm like, bro, I gave him a link of all the things on Amazon that I bought. Like these microphones, these are nice. You have podcast microphones. And I just sent him the links. You can't buy them anymore. Like they don't exist. This is years ago. I use a Focusrite. You guys have a different like thing to set up. But I sent him my shit. And then I went over to his house and he's using all of the shit that I was like, that was amazing. And they did pretty good.
Awesome.
And then I didn't know the other guy. I forget his name.
Ian. I don't know what happened. He was mining diamonds for the last episode. And I wanted to find out. When I hit up Alex, I was like, oh, by the way, like I see you guys aren't doing it anymore. What's going on with the diamond minings? Mining diamonds in Africa. And he's like, yeah, I don't really know. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
no, that means they had a falling out.
That's
exactly
what that means.
Because it was his house. It was the Ian dude's house.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this. I've done a lot of podcasts. There was a lot of liquor on that table.
Yeah,
and I remember taking it, and I was like, this is more like, and it's cool. I'm not putting it down, but if you're here to have a conversation, that was a party.
And that's what some of them got unlistenable. It's like, okay, like you've got 10 people in the room and you're all drinking, like, but no, that is their vibe. Well, that's at least Alex's vibe.
No, but then
party.
Like Ian had a bunch of kids, a beautiful wife.
Yeah.
And a really nice house. So I felt like, she's like, get the fuck out of my basement. It's
what it
came down to.
Yeah, but so hearing you on there and like, I don't know where we're at.
How do you know Angie?
She used to go to the campground. I used to live out there. I worked at the campground. I met my wife at the campground.
No shit.
It's like the only thing out there. Like, so I worked at this campground. I met them. They were freaking awesome people.
She is awesome.
And she just like she just fell in love with me, and then she's awesome. So
she is awesome.
Yeah.
She's coming to my Super Bowl party tomorrow.
Okay, well,
fucking she can cook, man.
Yeah. No, she's great.
So, all right, this motherfucker's creeping on my Instagram, right? And I'm like, and I got a lot of followers, but only people I know watch my stories, right? That's how it normally is. And I'm like, who's this fucking guy? And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. Is this dude like a weird fucking porno guy or some shit, So I click on it. Oh, fuck. I started doing ads when the book came out, and homosexual men seem to like me a lot. So that's what I was afraid you were.
You got a little bit of a flair.
Oh, my God. I think, two of my 3 ex-wives thought I was gay.
Were homosexual men.
No, thought I was gay when they met me. And they're like, he's my fun gay friend. And then I fucked the shit out of him.
Yeah, that guy always gets the pussy.
I'm telling you, man.
Yes,
I'm that
indeed.
fucking dude. I got a fucking Coach belt on. I'm fancy as fuck. You don't know. So, oh my God.
For the record, I am not a homosexual.
So he's on my Instagram, and I'm like,
jury's still out. Sorry. Well, I let the record show.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, be gay. More pussy for us. So, well, me, because these motherfuckers are married, and they don't seem to cheat. We'll see. So, yeah, he might get successful. Things happen. All right, so how many years? You said 2?
2.
You're in the honeymoon phase. And she's driving the truck I saw. That's a little weird. I'm not going to judge you, but I thought that was interesting.
It's her car.
I don't care. Tell me to fuck off. It doesn't matter.
No,
so
fuck off.
you're on my fucking Instagram, and I click on his shit. It is the greatest name I've ever seen. I laughed out loud. I was like, oh, my God, this is brilliant. So I was like, I'm going to send this guy a note. And then he's like, you're going to come on a fucking podcast? Got to fucking ask Angie? And Angie's like one of my like sisters, really.
And I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's because it's a small world. It really is.
It's a small world. My bass player told me, he texted me, he's like, how come you know everybody? And I was like, I'm old as fuck, bro. I'm old as fuck. So when did you write me? Like, how long ago? Because
it was like 2 days prior to that or something like that.
Are you sure you wrote me?
Man, I don't know. Might be another.
After we had our conversation, you can check different folders, and there's nothing there.
Huh? Maybe that's why I'm not getting responses from people, because I hit up like 4 people just trying to be proactive with this podcast.
You remember to hit send?
Kev's not getting us any guests.
You're right. I can only bring in all of my friends so many times.
So I'm hitting people up, and I'm like, oh shit, well, we got a mutual friend. If I have to, I will reach out to Ange. I didn't want to go that route first. I wanted to be like, hey man, like watch a few of your things. I listened to a few of your things. It'd be, you seem busy, so I was like,
it would have been great if I got a message. I got nothing, and then I felt like a dickhead. I was like, he thinks I'm big time, and I'm not that dude. I'm a guy.
You got shit going on. It's one of our ongoing things is trying to get this thing going, like get everybody's schedule. It's fucking hard. We're married.
Just between
shit going on.
2 of us, when we don't have a guest, it's hard enough to get together.
And then you add in a third person to drive to us.
Getting a third person's schedule to line up is tough.
I don't know if I agree with any of what you just said. I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? I feel like you're the issue with our scheduling.
A lot of the time, yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and this is just straight. Do you want to do this?
Yeah, I like doing it.
No. Not a like. Do you want to do this?
Yes.
Then you have to sit down together and say every 1 day a week from this time to this time, no matter what, we're going to do this. Now, maybe it's Monday evening because we all know you got to work Monday, right? You come in fucking – and it's going to suck, by the way. You're not going to do 7 o'clock.
I can't let him take the heat. Sometimes I'm like, I hope you don't want to hang out.
I spent the last 2 podcasts railing him because the third one
how railing is the fucking adjective of choice, and you're asking me if I'm gay, but keep going.
Yeah, well, I had him bent over. But he bailed on a podcast. I was like, yo, you coming over? And he goes, I got caught up doing some stuff, and I'm not going to.
I think I said I was helping somebody cut down trees. Like, that was a lie. I'm sorry.
Wow. But that's what I'm saying. So,
and it's tough. He works nights. I don't work nights.
Now, see, I didn't know that. That's
so weekdays are out. It has to be weekends for us to line up.
And you're a traveler.
And I like to go places, and my wife's got a big family, so
you don't work Friday evenings.
Yeah.
What's your schedule?
Like 12 to 12.
No, but what days?
Oh, Monday through Friday.
So Saturday you're free. Mm-hmm. Sunday you're free.
Yep. That's when we do podcasts.
But you do 12 to 12. So technically, and I'm just devil's advocate, if you were inclined, Monday evening before work, you could come in and pop it into a podcast.
Noon to midnight, not.
Yeah. Sorry.
Not
yeah.
Overnight.
Well, then fuck it. That makes no sense at all.
Nights until I get a better position.
I run a company. Like after the pandemic, they were paying people not to go to work, and I'm like, the roofs have to get fixed, children. We still have to cut the lawns. It sucked, actually.
I bet.
I like the money part though. That part's nice.
Positive.
That is the positive. So you have great benefits, I guess, both of you, right?
I guess. Does anybody have great benefits anymore?
I do. But
I think
very expensive.
Yeah, I think like people don't have great benefits, but a lot of people have shitty benefits. Like people are like, here's your benefits, and I was like, well, that sucks.
Is it really expensive for you guys?
No.
For
me alone. Not like I don't know what it's like.
Own?
Yeah, so I don't know what it's like for if
for like
your
a family
is on your insurance.
$200-$300 a paycheck. get paid every 2 weeks.
Bi-weekly,
I think.
yeah. So you're looking at $600 a month. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Any children yet?
Not yet.
How about you?
Yeah. He's turning 16 tomorrow, so.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You fucking started early as fuck.
Yeah, kind of.
You don't have a mustache yet, and you got a 16-year-old child.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
he has a mustache.
Only one and done?
Yeah, I mean, they're fucking expensive.
Did you get...
No, it's just very careful.
The guy who works with me, he got snipped, bro. And then he got divorced and he got snipped and he just fucked everything that moved for like 2 years. And then he got a really hot one. And he's like, I'm going to get engaged. And I'm like, you probably shouldn't do that. And he got engaged. She's hot. She's really hot. But I don't know. Snipped.
You can unsnip, right?
It's a lot of money to unsnip.
Oh.
Yeah, I just pull out.
I mean, yeah, I mean.
I'm pretty good at it because I'm old.
Yeah,
sort
working
of an
on
unsnip right there.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I'm old, man. If I was gonna have a kid, I would have by now. I was a stepdad for a while, and I really did enjoy it a lot. And then to her, thank God I didn't. I was like, let's have a baby.
Yeah, that would have been
fucking evil.
Oh man.
Yeah, then you're stuck for fucking 18 years of payments. There's Did you watch the Pam Anderson thing on Netflix?
She wanted to watch the other night. I was like,
bro, you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Shockingly, because I'm not into that shit.
I liked her VHS tape.
Man, when you hear it broken down,
yeah, it sounds sad.
It is. It's fucking.
Yeah.
It's not sad. They were really, really in love, and you're married, so you get it, and you're married, so you get it. They were really in love, and that shit fucked them up. Believe it or not,
they got fucked over. And I didn't even watch the Hulu.
I
one.
fucking watched the shit out of it.
I caught clips and got the gist of it, but.
Luke Skywalker is Tommy Lee? Come on. He didn't really play Luke, but he should. That guy looks fucking perfect. You guys like Star Wars at all?
Yeah.
God fucking loves them.
Star Wars John Wright hanging up there.
Oh my God, I didn't even see it. I love that shit. I got lightsabers in my house, motherfucker.
Oh, that's
that's Kev's dream.
I got the real ones.
It's something that I've thrown on a Christmas list, like one of like the $180 like the action lightsabers. Yeah, that's something that's like, oh, this for Christmas, and it's all like, right. Nope, no lightsaber again this year.
So when you get divorced, and it's coming, think of this moment because you buy a lot of shit you don't need because you're now divorced and you're sad, right? I bought the fucking Youngling Killer. And it's like $300, and I bought that motherfucker. Bro, I have this beautiful house, right, with a fireplace in my bedroom that I never use because I'm a guy, and it's got a lightsaber across the top of it, which to me is awesome, but not so much of a panty dropper. I'm not going to lie to you. But I love my lightsaber, and then I was like, I need Lord Vader's lightsaber. So I went on a hunt, and it's like not perfect. I got it for like half price, but it's a little busted up, like when you light it up, but it's fucking awesome. And then someone gifted me Luke Skywalker's green one. And that's a $300 fucking lightsaber. And so I have a house full of lightsabers.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Are you a Jedi or are you a Sith? The fact that you don't know is upsetting.
Yeah, Kev, what are you?
What the fuck, Kev?
Well, I'd say
or do you just have the little things and you're like the kid?
A gray Jedi, like one that operates in the middle. That's not really working with the Force.
So
or
you're
the
gay.
Sith.
Cool.
He doesn't want to choose, huh?
I was going to say, pick one, man.
Oh, then
I like Obi-Wan as much as the next guy. All right. Did you like the fucking Obi-Wan series?
Obi-Wan was all right.
It was all right, right? They could have done so much more. All right. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Fucking turn
Look,
your ears
I
off.
like them too. They're just not fucking lightsaber status.
Obi-Wan, like in the show, and the spoilers for a show
they fucking saw it.
Yeah,
last year.
It's a year old. I don't fucking care. But he has the chance in the movies to kill him and doesn't.
But we know
which he can't because you have the other.
Then we don't have any fucking movies.
But then in the show again, he gets the same chance. Like you get round 2 and you do it again and you walk away. Like
here's what got me. All right, besides that being fucking, that's fucking. I can say it right.
Everyone.
When he's dragging Obi-Wan through the fire, right, and the robot grabs him, it's Vader. Just pull everything back with the Force, and you still have. Nope, he got away. Oh my God. How? Although to see him suited up as Vader was pretty fucking amazing.
That was cool.
That was fucking cool, right? And then he didn't have a career afterwards, so he's nothing else. He's just Vader. That's it for the rest of his fucking life. Anakin all chewed the fuck up. What's really bad? Oh, the Rogue One thing. What's it?
Andor? I didn't watch Andor.
Dude, shockingly, it's fucking amazing.
Is it? I've heard mixed.
They're wrong. It's fucking amazing. There's a thing where there's a prison like section for like 2 episodes. It's like the Shield level of anxiety. Like that good in Star Wars.
Okay.
And then, it ends. ambiguously, but I guess it'll be another season. You know what I mean? But there were parts of that that are just fucking amazing. I could have done with Obi-Wan. It could have been better. They could have made it a movie, maybe. I'm a little disappointed with Boba, but I'm not, because I like that it's like a nice, well-rounded, happy story.
It was all right. Boba Fett was just Mandalorian season 2.5.
Tell me the one episode of Mandalorian I'm sorry, in Boba that features Mandalorian isn't the greatest episode of the Boba series, though.
Yeah,
like,
it was awesome.
Great, right? So I'm like season 3. He shouldn't have kept the kid. I don't know how I feel about that shit. Obviously, the kid can't turn up in the thing. Ahsoka's getting her own fucking series. Where the fuck was she through all the movies? But that's fine. No one cares.
Well, and that's part of with Disney buying Star Wars, all the shit that they retconned and took out, and like they left Ahsoka and that whole thing, but like you're gonna leave that, but you don't leave Starkiller from the Force Awakens games, which was just like the greatest of any of the apprentices. That they're just like, no, we have this awesome IP that we're gonna fucking drop, and then they name the base Starkiller base in the new series of Star Wars, and it's just like, oh, you're really just saying fuck off to everybody that loved that whole storyline.
So when they fucking make Luke Skywalker a pussy, how'd you feel about that shit?
It's stupid. Like, what happened? Like, he got scared because Ben Kenobi was.
If you almost kill your
strong.
nephew over some bullshit, that's pretty bad. Like, if I almost killed my nephew, I think I'd be kind of sad, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, sure, I'd go and be a loner and shit, but I just, like, why are you training all of them? Like, obviously, they're gonna have force powers, so you have to, I don't know. It
just made no fucking sense. That's very sad. Although that scene in the fucking throne room where the fucking blade goes through dude, she holds her hand up and it lands in her fucking hand. And I believe it was Anakin's lightsaber, wasn't it?
Yes.
That's pretty fucking cool. And they set it to a Queen song, Don't Stop Me Now. Did you guys see that fucking footage? They took it off YouTube. It's gone now. But it was Queen, and they're chopping all these fucking dudes up. And it was pretty fucking awesome.
That's
and
cool.
then they had SNL when they were making those fucking movies. I can't think of his name. The giant guy who plays Ben Solo. What the fuck's his name?
Oh.
The actor.
Yeah.
He played fucking Kylo Ren as a undercover boss. Did you see that shit?
Yeah,
SNL?
that's good.
It is fucking amazing. He's like, I saw Kylo Ren in the hallway, and he gave me this card for your son being killed. He's like, well, he killed Kylo Ren killed my son. He's like, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. Oops.
All right, so how much of a nerd are you? Do you like The Hobbit?
Oh no, I have testicles and stuff. I don't know what the fuck that is actually.
Lord of the Rings stuff.
I've never seen any of that stuff.
All right, yeah.
We had a drummer
you're missing out.
in the book from England who was really into it. I thought it was ridiculous. I was like, this is stupid. Here's the thing, though. Nostalgia's real. So I like Star Wars in the 70s because I'm old. So it's special to me. And I saw Empire Strikes Back in the theater. Like, I'm old, man. I saw it in the theater.
Isn't Lord of the Rings old?
The books are.
No.
The movies came out in 2001.
Yeah, so 20 years. Fuck 20 years. Fuck 20 years. I blinked 20 years. By the way, I'm not aging. Did you look it up? I look exactly the same 20 years later. Did you see?
You do.
I do. A little fatter.
All right, so more on your band.
What do you want to know?
Well, are you still doing it?
Yeah, we had practice today.
All right, how many people are in this band?
4 people. There's a guitar player, a bass player, a drummer, and myself.
How many people have you gone through?
A lot. Because you got to figure, in reality, the guitar player and I met, not even making this up, at a Halloween party in 1993. For real.
What were you guys dressed as?
No, I was a kid. I wasn't dressed as anything. I was just happy to be there. And like, I was...
The band is you and the guitar player. Is it
pretty much?
The other pieces are interchangeable.
Yes.
And have you been four members the whole time, or
there was a point where we had a second guitar player in 2003 until like 2005, and we did a lot of touring as a 5-piece. Actually, a lot of touring. And that guy, his name was Kenny. Hey, Kenny. His hair fell out. He used to look like Jack Black. Imagine Jack Black with his hair falling out. That's Kenny. And he was from Piney Point, Maryland, which I'd never heard of. He was in Delaware. We found him. He moved into one of my houses and was living in one of my houses, and we were in a band. And, dude, we toured everywhere, and we did everything. We fucked everybody. It was the greatest time. And then he became an alcoholic and blamed me.
The guy who doesn't drink?
Well, I was buying a lot of liquor for the band because I love my band. And so he blamed me. He woke. I was in my bedroom. He was in his bedroom, and we had a roadie sleeping on the couch, right? and Kenny decides to pee down the steps. It's in the book, 12 Foot Tall and Bulletproof. And he pees down the steps, and the roadie's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I hear this. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. We just went to bed at like 4, so we're not like fucking. And I look over, and Kenny's like, "Shut the fuck up!" And then he stomps down through his own piss and sits in my living room, and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." And I'm sober, right? So I clean the piss, I bleach everything. The next day, I had to drive my friend to a job interview. He still has that fucking job, by the way. And this is in 2005. And fucking by the time I came back, Kenny called his dad and moved away and never spoke to me again.
Damn, you ruined his life.
No, he married some girl. We were on tour. Oh my God, this is so fucked up. And we were in Illinois of all fucking places. And I had family in Illinois. And I'm like, let's go visit my family. So me and Kenny break off from the tour and we just go and have this adventure. And he like fucks this girl who lives in Illinois. He married her. They're married. They got kids, man. And I'm like, wow.
I see you didn't ruin his life. You made his life.
Right? He ditched the band.
Doesn't happen without you. So how ruined could it be?
I don't know. He knew her from high school. So, but like, I don't know.
All right, so you've got now you're 4-piece, and it's really just you and the other guy.
No, it's all 4. It's a band.
Yeah, but like you and the guy have been the longest running.
Mm-hmm.
So
30 years.
Damn.
Yeah. So we didn't play the first note of music until February of '94, right? So that's 29 years technically, but we met in '93, so we're 30 years. And then the first song we ever wrote together, we're going to record this summer on the next record. We never recorded it, so it's like pretty exciting.
Very cool.
That's
Thank
fun.
you. Pretty cool.
Now, the name after the Decepticon?
You think?
Yeah. Okay, I didn't see that.
And actually,
so,
you
yes.
How good are you? This isn't. That's not what you think it is.
That's the not the Autobots. It's not the Decepticon logo.
It's
right?
both, bro.
Oh, is it?
All right, I'm gonna put the mic down. Okay.
Okay.
So we tried to legally make a different fucking amalgamation of this thing. We got a cease and desist from Hasbro.
Damn.
And I'm still selling it, so sue me, I guess. And then someone took our name at one point in New York City, and they were called StarSkream. And I had my lawyer send them a letter, and they went to Twitter, and they were mocking us and calling us like old men, which we are. And we thought we were gonna go to court and everything, and they backed down at the last minute. And I was fuck it, I'm going to court. It costs $50,000 to sue. Did you know that? You got to put it up. Now, when you win, and I was gonna win, they got to pay your lawyer, but I got to put it up.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I was.
But luckily, you got a successful business, so fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. They didn't know. They don't know.
How much of the money does that lawyer keep when they go, we're not gonna do this?
I didn't give them the 50. We didn't get to court.
Oh, okay.
But to file,
okay.
I think it cost me a couple of grand, which is too much, actually. I mean,
seems ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And then I worked on his roof, and then and then it kind of leaked later. Not my fault. And he was like, kind of leaning towards maybe it was going to get litigious, and I was like, God damn it, I am never working on your roof again, and I didn't.
I'm not working for fucking lawyers
ever again. And then another lawyer almost sued me once, and I don't get sued. Knock on fucking wood. We have 5-star rating everywhere. Like, I'm not pushing my company, but I'm saying, like, everywhere you look, we are everywhere in line. We're 5-star rating, and this fucking lawyer was like, I'm gonna take you to court. He didn't though. Thank God that worked out.
All right. So what are you doing like now? So you're trying to get geared up. I have some questions about this book.
Yeah.
How do you go about doing that? Like, you're like, okay, I've got these great stories. I'm great.
No, it's funny that you ask. You like underground hip hop. Those guys, a lot of them write in like marble notebooks, right? And journals and things like that. That's how I started. So when I was 13 years old, I was dead asleep. This is it's in the book, true story. Dead asleep, sleeping. And I'm like, I wake up. And I don't wake up. To this day, I sleep like a fucking stone. I don't give a fuck. I close my eyes, I go to sleep, I wake up in the morning. I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like a Tuesday night. And I'm drawn to get this marble notebook or anything out of my desk. It was a marble notebook, happened to be there. I opened it up, and I just started writing. An entire fucking verse appeared out of thin air. I didn't think about it. I didn't worry about it. It just appeared. And then I felt like, when you jerk off and you're relieved? Like that, like, it was like that relief. And I was like, okay.
And ashamed?
No, but I wasn't. I was proud. I was like, look at my mess, So I fucking ashamed. Actually, we're going to spin. after you're done watching the vile porn, do you feel guilty for watching that?
I'm
and
like, man, I gotta take a break.
I
because
know.
So you take a break and then you can go back to regular porn.
Like the shit that I'm watching now is.
I just feel somehow.
It's cyclical. It all gets. You get to a point where you're like, I gotta cool it, and then you cool off, and then you start,
exactly,
and then it comes back, and you can always tell the ramping up process is there when you get to page 67 of Pornhub.
I just feel
and you're like,
that
all right.
Tranny porn is less gay because it's like 1.5 chicks and then a half dude. You know what I mean? Instead of full dude, full chick. You know?
No, it's gay. But that's
I think you're making the wrong argument here.
Do you know who Jim Norton is?
Yeah.
So I guess you're a Jim Norton fan.
I was actually going to ask you because that comedy thing you said that's off of The Basement, or what's the other Compound?
Compound Media.
Sounds like he does all those weird characters like Chip Chipperson and stuff. I hate that shit.
You don't like Chip Chipperson?
I fucking can't stand that. I don't know why it irks me so much, but he does all, and I'm glad that he's like fucking found his niche because he was such a funny comedian, and then it feels like at some point he like released the real him, like talking about sucking dicks.
No, for real.
And just became who he should have been, but just didn't maybe have the confidence at the time. And then times changed, and then he exploded, and now he's like super successful.
Well,
so it's cool.
On Sirius XM, he has the morning show.
Yeah, no, like, and I used to watch clips of him on Open Anthony all the time.
Well, he was the third chair.
Yeah.
Mike.
So.
All right, so we're gonna take. I'm pretty good at the organization things. We're gonna spin back around. So I write these lyrics in this book. I go to bed. I wake up the next day. I grab the book. I take it to school with me, and I'm carrying this book like around all day with my school books, and I'm like proud of it. So then like we have like a break or something, and I didn't see my friends, and I just start writing more. And then like a month went by, and I'd written like 10 fucking songs, and I'd never thought of myself as a songwriter. And I remember when you were a kid, maybe it was CDs for you, but we had cassette tapes. So I opened up the cassette tape, and I counted the rhythm. This is a stanza. This is a verse. How much is here? And I applied it. So I like learned how to like craft words into rhythm and pattern from reading how to do it through these cassette tape lyrics that I owned. And that opens the fucking floodgates. So then I spent about 2 years feverishly writing, filling up 2 or 3 marble notebooks, right? And we'll get back to the end. I know where we're going. Don't worry. So I filled in marble notebooks, and then I'm like, okay, it's time to put a band together. And I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to sing. I don't. But I'm like, I'm going to fucking do this shit. And punk rock motherfuckers didn't sing at all. I'm like, I could do that, you know. And so I put a band together. For real, there's still a band. The band I made in 1992 is still a band. They're called Stellar Belly. It's the same bass player, the same guitar player, the same drummer, and the guy they replaced me with when I quit is still the singer.
Damn, that's cool.
And now the second band I'm ever in is this fucking band, and this is still a band. So yeah.
So you can put some shit together.
I'm a builder, it turns out. I built a company. Shit. I built bands. So I have 30 marble notebooks. And I have a ridiculous memory, and I don't know what that's about. Go ahead.
Are they all songs, or are you journaling
Both.
type of? Okay.
Both. So when it came time to do this, I had been preparing to do it my whole life and didn't even know it. And I didn't really have to go back to a lot of the notebooks because a lot of it was in my head. But then like certain things, like we toured Europe in 2002. Well, the bars maybe aren't around today. So I had to go online and verify which club I played and all that. And you can. The internet's a beautiful thing. And I figured it out. I'm like, oh, the Borderline, we played there. The reason the Borderline's cool is the first time Pearl Jam toured Europe when they weren't famous, they played the Borderline. And then Dave Matthews Band played the Borderline. And then Rage Against the Machine. And then we. And I'm like, we're going to. And then we weren't. But we got there. So yeah, next question.
What if we put him and fucking Dippolito in the fucking same room? Jesus Christ.
Is it too much? Like, would it explode?
Yeah, maybe.
We could leave and then come back, and the podcast would still be going.
I mean, how long have we been going? Do we have a clock on this?
Fucking.
It's an hour and 25.
Is it really?
Yeah, just going by.
Do you have a length for your podcast? Like, what do you?
Yeah, I'm gonna trim it down. We found like, I mean, I might even split it into 2, honestly. But we found like. Most of our comments were, first of all, which with you is going to be hilarious, we don't stay on topics, and it's too long. So we've got down to like an hour, and I don't really give a shit about the topic part. Like, the whole point is fucking...
Why would you ever want to stay on topic?
No, I don't give a fuck about that.
The topic is
this.
Us talking right now. That's the
beautiful.
Topic,
like, in my opinion, like the podcast that I like to listen to, I guess it's weird because we're going back to that question again. Compound Media dominates a lot of my life of what I listen to.
Do you also listen to the Skanks?
Skankfest. right?
I think we might try to get, like, dude, you want to go to that shit? I think I'm too old to do drugs there, but I could drink.
Yeah, they're doing it out in Vegas again, so that's a whole.
No, but dude. If you're gonna go, that's the fuck. Have you been to Vegas?
No.
What do you do with your life? Have you been to Vegas?
No.
Jesus Christ! I know you got mortgages and shit, but for real, you got to travel a little bit. I've been to Vegas 15 fucking times. I don't gamble. For real.
Or drink.
No, definitely don't drink. But I love Vegas, dude. I've been to Vegas so many times that I went to the fucking Liberace Museum before they closed it. And that shit is glorious for somebody like me. Half a love it. Fucking woo, sparkles and shit. I bought a Liberace ring. Yeah.
So you do listen to Skanks?
No.
Oh, you don't listen to Legion of Skanks?
No. I'm trying to so
Big J.
Dave and who's the other guy?
Big J. Okerson, David Smith, and
Louis
J. Gomez. Skanks, they were on Compound Media first. I don't know if you know that.
Yes.
That's their beginning. And then they kind of were like, Keith the cop, who you don't know who the fuck that is Anthony's friend who used to run. He doesn't run anymore. He like retired, moved down south. He was the guy who ran it, and they got in a fight over money. And then they made their own thing. Now, they recently poached somebody from Anthony's network to go over to them. And
what's that guy's name?
Oh,
Gino Biscayne?
No, Gino Bisconti. He left Gino.
Visconti?
He left Gino. What the fuck is his name? Aaron.
Bird?
Aaron Bird.
The Bird. The muscle guy. The really short muscle guy.
He's coming to Soul Joel's. I think I might go see him. He's pretty seems pretty funny.
How's his shows over on Skank? What's it like?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't listened to it.
They got their own platform.
Yeah, Gas Digital.
Gas Digital Media. Gas Digital Media. And so I don't listen to it because I'm kind of loyal. I'm very loyal, unfortunately. That's like my thing. So I give my money to Anthony. I think it's like $80 a year, right? There's like 100,000 people. So they're making like $8-9 million a year. You got to figure they're paying at least half of it out to salaries and like rent and all that shit. But Anthony's ridiculously rich, and it's a lot of fun shit. Bro, do you remember who the Reverend Bob Levy was from the Howard Stern Show?
I've heard that name.
Okay, so Reverend Bob Levy, Gino Bisconti, who you kind of know, I guess, and Anthony, they got blind drunk on the show Thursday. It's 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a 2-hour show. And I was like, is it really 5 hours? And I clicked. I'm like, there's no way. It took me 3 days to listen to the 5 fucking hours. And it was so good. Do you guys know who Kevin Brennan is?
Yes.
You do?
He's, well, it's Neil Brennan's brother. But,
older brother.
Yeah, and he seems
Neil.
like a fucking just jerk off.
He's
like,
so funny.
You like him?
I have all this affinity for him.
All right.
Yeah.
Seems just angry that he never made it as big as his little brother.
Do you know he's the one who took fucking Sarah Silverman's virginity?
No.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
She's still looking pretty good, right?
She's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, she's kind of a piece of trash.
Yeah.
I'm not political.
My favorite scene in any movie ever is, I forget the fucking movie. Oh, hilarious. But it's she gets punched right in the face.
She says Silverman. Isn't
No,
that's not her. I love that fucking movie though. Fuck.
No, is that No, it's Amanda Peet. Not. I always mix them two up.
Dude, I fucked this girl who was Amanda Peet's twin, and she was the long-term girlfriend of the bass player of some cover band I hated. And I went to this club. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Now,
totally
did
fine.
you bang her just because you hated that
and
band?
She's a smoke show. And then she was so good at the sex. And I remember being inside of her, and I'm like, I'm going to come inside you. And she's like, you can't. I'm not on the pill. And I'm like, yeah, but I think it would be interesting for you to explain to your boyfriend why you're pregnant. I didn't, by the way. But then it became like a thing. And then we started dating, kind of. And she lived with this guy. I'm scum. And I couldn't go
Well,
to
it's not your fault. She's a whore.
She was so hot, dude. Amanda Peet with bigger tits.
Mm.
What the fuck? It was so. I would go get. I have tattoos, right? And I would go to this place on South Street to get work done. And when I was done, I'd go to this club that we frequented all the time. I could not go to this club and not fuck something. Someone would have sex with me. and by the way, I'm not bisexual. I don't like dudes. I meant a girl, but some girl would fuck me. So I'd go there and I would get work done on like a Tuesday, right after work. And I go in and then she's in there drinking and I'm like, hey, and she's like, hey, and we're in the bathroom fucking, and I was like, okay, yes. She was awesome. I fucking should find her, actually.
Yeah.
What's she up to?
Yeah, what band and tattoo place is that? Did you shout him out?
Philadelphia Eddie's did all my work.
That's your guy?
With that artist. No, it's not my guy. Eddie's like 1,000 years old. I think he died. My guy went a little cray-cray. His name's T, and I do love him, but he went a little cray-cray.
Face tattoos?
What do you mean?
Did he have face tattoos?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I just figured he's a tattoo artist.
How crazy was he going?
Yeah.
Oh, remember Rage Against the Machine? Yes.
The band?
He was Zach Della Rocha's personal bodyguard. He was a big boy.
Oh, big fucker.
Remember that band Blind Melon? No More Rain? You ever heard of No More Rain? The B-Girl video? Anyway, Blind Melon guy died on tour.
Mm-hmm.
My guy, my tattoo artist, was his bodyguard and quit because he was a fuck up, and he died a month later. He went to jail for punching somebody in the sternum, and their sternum broke. That's attempted murder, it turns out. Did you know? I didn't know that. Did you know that? I didn't know that. He gets in a bar fight with two guys, and he's like, raw! And the sternum just fucking cracked. They're like, you tried to kill him. He's like, I just punched him in the chest, man. Went away for that shit.
Yeah, fights will get you in trouble, for sure.
Yeah, you're a big boy. We're never fighting. I'll fight Kev, though. He's a hockey player. Kev will fuck me up. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, he fights more
I can
than
get
me.
punched pretty good, yeah.
I figure. What's your position?
Defense mostly.
That really? You can't shoot?
No, I can. I can't hit the net.
Amen. Right? It's hard as fuck, isn't it?
Yeah.
With the velocity, anybody with practice shots can hit the net. But when that velocity of the skating and coming up, and to me, it's amazing. I have a lot of respect for it. It's like a hard gig.
I feel like
I mean, children can play it, so
not well.
Let me clarify it. I play roller hockey, so it's with a puck and everything, but it's one less person. Ice hockey is a whole different deal.
Ice hockey's a beast.
In my opinion, ice hockey players are the best athletically. You have to be able
in
to
the world.
Yes.
That constant back and forth, bro. They get hit in the face and lose parts of their face. They tape it up and they're like, I'm back in, coach. It's cool. Like, they're the toughest motherfuckers on the planet.
Yeah.
Never fight a hockey player. It is not going to end well for you. He's missing 5 teeth. I wonder why. Don't fight a hockey player.
practice makes perfect.
Fucking A. No sports ever, huh?
I think I tried to play football once, but like we're poor, so my mom couldn't come pick me up, and we couldn't afford the equipment.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
How many
sad.
siblings?
Well, there's 4 of us.
That's a lot of kids. That's expensive.
Yeah.
So you have 1.
Yeah.
Are you married to the mom?
Yeah.
You're with the same woman for 143 years?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
It's fine. I'm not much of a catch, so I'll just take what I can get.
You have a full head of hair. You're winning.
That's true.
And you make money. That's all you need in this world.
Yeah, man.
Your dick works. You got hair. You got money. You're all right.
Yeah, you know, you're a charismatic person. You should. My attitude, like, I'll go to the bar. It's just like stand in the corner. A lot of people think I am the bouncer sometimes.
I get no. People think I'm the bouncer. Don't do it. So, they think I'm a cop.
Oh,
like when I'm at a function,
I can see that.
I'm like this because I don't drink, right?
Yeah.
And so we're not little guys. So and I don't know. I look kind of stern. I don't have fun in bars. If we play, you guys remember that fucking band? They were fake.
Milli Vanilli?
Yes. You guys remember Milli Vanilli?
Vaguely.
He said when he first got into it, and they were like pretty model-looking dudes. Like, they were pretty
Handsome guys.
Handsome guys. And he said we would go and do these fake performances, bro, and I could just walk up and talk to the girl. Did you like the show? If I play, I could fuck anybody in the bar. If I don't play, I'm just like, hello. So that charismatic shit. And then it's loud. I don't know, man. I'm not a bar guy. In life, I do well.
It's not that you're not charismatic, Stan. You're just not open to meeting new people.
It's true.
You can be pretty charismatic with the people that you're like, okay, these are my guys. I'm okay. I know they're cool. But to go meet some random person and be like, hey, what's your story?
I'm working on my walls, you know?
You would never.
I built too many walls.
Bro, divorces, I got walls for days.
Yeah.
The girl I'm seeing right now, oh my God, that's a fucking car crash. I'm going to see her later tonight. No one knows. They all think I'm fucking done with this bitch. And I should be. Oh, she could fuck like a champion, though. Anyway, walls for days. I had a fucking, all right. Actually, this isn't good. You're not going to, but you might. I have a New Year's Eve party, a motherfucking New Year's Eve party every fucking year at my house, which is close to your house. Okay. And there's like gallons and gallons and gallons of free alcohol, free food, people as far as the eye can see. The reason I bring this up, my second wife attended one year with her new husband. Nice guy. He got drunk and beat up someone, so they're not coming back. But hey, what are you going to do? So at this party, the girl I was dating followed her around all night, which annoyed the fuck out of me. I broke up with her that night. So she's like following my ex-wife around, like fucking getting nose and shit. My ex-wife's hammered. She's like, listen. He's fucking cruel. He's got a lot of walls. So I guess I have walls. I'm with you.
It's funny.
I'm with you.
Damn, that's fucking awesome. So you like dealing with drunk people?
Well, no one likes it, but it's in the industry that I'm in. That's the gig, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's the gig.
You're just used to doing it.
Yeah, you do something long enough. I remember. Oh, right, in the book. You know what straight edge means?
Yeah. Triple X.
Yeah, right. Except when you fuck, you don't get triple X.
Exactly.
And I fucked everybody, so that's a problem. But I had 2 X's, and so I was very militant and vehement. And dude, live and let fucking live. Like my family, the reason I don't do anything is my father was an alcoholic and my mother was a drug addict. They didn't raise me. They raised me when I was like 3 or 4, and then I got adopted out by a different member of the family who was awesome. But the first 4 years were fucked up, right? Being locked in the back of cars and like they're in bars all night. The point I'm saying is, so when I became like an adult, 18, 19, not quite 21, I'm in a band and I was very forceful with, if you do drugs, you can't be near me. But in my chosen industry, you got to bend a little. And just because I might not be able, I don't know, I've never drank, but I'm not going to risk it. So if I had one drink, I might never stop drinking. You understand? I don't want to be that guy.
No, that's awesome.
Thank you. So, but someone else can control their shit. So just because I come from a bloodline where they can't, I can't tell them what to do. And now I've been in a band with the same guy for 30 years. That fucking guy was drunk a lot of those 30 fucking years. He loves drugs. We were discussing drugs in great detail in practice today. But he's functioning. He's got a beautiful house. He's got kids. He's got a life. He's not a fuck up. He parties when he wants to party, and then he doesn't. Well, I couldn't put that in my head because I'd never seen it done responsibly when I was a child. You dig? That's not right. So I chilled. But it's not that I like it, but I've gotten used to it. I'll tell you this. Knock on wood. I have had a very colorful sexual life, okay? Never had any weird accusations or girls saying things later to the cops or something. And you know why that is? I didn't fuck drunk girls. If you're with me, you want to be with me. And if you didn't, hey, no problem. Somebody else will. You know what I mean? So there's a club that we frequent called Dobbs. Have you heard of it?
Dobbs on Main or something like that?
No, it's on South Street in South Philadelphia. They had like a sexual assault thing happen last weekend, and it's fucking them all up. They might close. And all the
spot.
It's one of it definitely is.
Damn.
Like it's fucking awesome. And the guy who owns it was a fan of ours 22 years ago when he was a kid.
Damn, so you're in.
I'm in, bro.
Yeah.
He's my people. And so they had this sexual assault thing happen. But I'm thinking about how it went down, like the details. This cancel culture thing is real, right? It doesn't touch my life because no one's been drugged I've been with. No one was on drugs that I've been with. I feel like if you're going to party with women or play, it's got to be a responsible environment. That's all. That's my little fucking preach for you there.
Well, no, I really, like, that opens up, like, saying all of that, of why, makes total fucking sense.
Awesome.
It's the same thing of, like, when you're partying, I do like drinking, but I've seen people do coke, and it doesn't seem appealing to me at all. I'm sure it's fucking awesome.
You gotta try it though. You don't know.
I bet you.
Says you.
Well,
I'm willing to bet it's fucking awesome. But from the outside, I don't know.
I spent after my first wife passed away. I didn't have a job, and we just toured, right? So I had $100,000 in the bank. That's a comfortable way to be. My house was paid for. It was a shitty house, but it was paid for. My car was paid for. Had $100,000 in the bank, and so I was just living. Right? Just trying not to be sad. I was crying every night. I missed this woman. I loved her. So I would just go out every night. The people you find in the bar region on a Monday at midnight are just as damaged as you are, right? So we played a show. We went back to some after party after the bar closes. It's like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning in some girl's apartment. There's people swinging from the ceiling fan. It's a great party. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Some chick I'm banging on, she's there. It'd be awesome. There was a table like this over in the corner, and there was a group of 5 people, and they were the coke people. And coke was gone. It was dead. And it came back right around then, about 20 years ago. They didn't get up from that table, and their eyes were black. They didn't look fun to me. Like, I was meeting people. They were drunk people there, smoking weed, doing your thing. But when you get into the coke thing or the fucking pharmaceutical thing.
It's darker.
Have you been to Kensington recently?
I watch all of those videos.
Have you been there?
No.
We should go.
All right.
I mean, I don't know how you would record, I guess, with our phones. I own a roofing company, so I'm at every part of the city you can imagine. I work on, and there's companies that hire me to fix their roofs that happen to be near Kensington. So there's a moving company at 5th and something, and I go there, and I'm doing my thing, and I got a kid in my truck. He's a fucking child. He's 22 years old. I'm going to drop him off. It's 11 a.m. We're done for the day. He got his money. I got my fucking money. So I'm like, oh, quickest way to your house? Oh, we'll go through Kensington. Bro, they're fucking lighting fires on the sidewalks now. I didn't know this. And I'm like, it's just so bad.
Yeah, it's insane.
And I grew up in Port Richmond, which is the next neighborhood over.
Okay.
When I was 11 years old, 10 years old, I'd get on my bicycle, and I'd go to Kensington Avenue, and I'd buy rock and roll stuff and T-shirts and tapes. And there were junkies then, but they wouldn't come out till dark, and you didn't see them, and you could just have a normal thing. I have all these earrings, right? When I was in 1989, I got on my bicycle, and I went to fucking Avenue, and I got 2 earrings in the summer. I didn't tell my parents. And they on Kensington
At least
Avenue.
it was in the right ear, you know?
Left ear, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not
the right ear.
Oh,
the
correct ear. Ah! Big George Michael fan, are you? Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, go. No, I was like,
I'm done. That was my rap.
no. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, those videos are like sad, interesting, and just how did we get here? You know?
Remember in 2000 when all those kids were dying from oxys?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that, right? That was a big deal. And then it subsided. But I remember like being really scared because I was young in 2000. I just bought my house. I was like 23 years old. And I was like, well, this is disturbing, but this too shall pass. And it did. None of these junkies are from Kensington.
No.
They're
Every
all
time there's
from here.
Like I'm up in Trooper, King of Prussia. Like whenever there's a person missing from Pottstown or this area or that area, it's like
find them there.
Just go down. That's where they're at.
But that's the thing. So everybody's got this member of the family who's a junkie. Your son isn't a fuck up, I'm assuming.
I hope not. No.
No, but you would know,
he's not.
right? And you don't have any yet. Does she want kids?
Yeah, we're working on it. It's a whole infertility
you've got to have
thing.
sex.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
no, it's all
is
right.
it your balls or is it her?
It's my balls.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but we're on the path. We're
It's
getting
really
it done.
on your balls for real?
Yeah,
How do you feel about that?
it sucks.
I think I would take
I'd
it as a
like-
blessing.
I
would.
It sucks because we're trying to have kids, but I'm happy that it's my problem and not hers.
That way you don't got to deal with that. Yeah.
That's the smartest fucking answer I could imagine. The people who raised me, my dad had that problem. I call him my dad. He wasn't my dad, but he raised me. And I remember asking when you get to that age, you're like 13, 14. I'm like, so who was the person? He wouldn't tell me. He was like embarrassed. I felt bad. Fuck it. I think it's a blessing. Coming bitches all day long. What the fuck is amazing?
Oh, that's funny.
Interesting. Would you adopt?
If we
I know
don't
not-
we
I
don't
know,
have to, but
not
I would
yet.
absolutely.
I would adopt because I was adopted. So I feel like I'm old, right? If I meet a chick, I really like her, and she doesn't want to have a kid, I'm open to it. Because if you get a certain age, you could fuck the kid up. Like, my balls are old and very used up and shit. So perhaps what comes out as ejaculate could
I
be.
was just talking about that with the same guy last night. That asked the same question: how many kids you had? Blah blah. Like I'm 37 years old. I wouldn't want that'd be my biggest fear because like the coffee,
Autistic
the vinyl,
and stuff, man.
vinyl closet is based her son. She made a coffee spot in there for her son who's autistic, and like they do the whole thing, and that's what the whole charity is about. That's the whole scene around there. So we don't use the R word there, but you know what I mean. Like it's a whole thing, and I'd be terrified because it's a life sentence. And then at the end you've got to worry about
You're
how
gonna
the
die,
world,
and who takes care of this
how
kid?
the world's gonna deal with.
No, you're
the
not
the
lying.
thing you've loved, if it took care of your whole life, you dedicated your life to.
Now, I don't discuss this because this is not really my business, but I'm going to tell you guys because I feel like we're becoming friends for real. Like, this has been kind of illuminating for me. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like we're becoming a thing today.
You're a very open book. It's nice.
Anyway, my stepson was technically autistic.
Okay.
You wouldn't know. Like, there's autism where you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He looked completely normal. Very intelligent. Mathematic genius. Like, not scary, but very, very smart. Reading, normal. Everything, comprehension, all right. But, like, math is, like, a special thing. But he was very emotional. Now, I did a lot of research because I love this kid. And I raised him, 8 years, 7 years. He was, like, in my life. Like, he was my kid, really. And so, you wouldn't know this, but I'll tell you. In 1993, the designation of what makes an autistic person changed, the rules. So when I was a little kid, I went to nursery school? No. 1980 or 81, I believe I was in kindergarten. And when I go to kindergarten, there was a kid who would stand by the window and stare out the window. And his mother had to sit down on the step. And if he couldn't see his mom, he would cry hysterically. That kid was autistic.
Mm-hmm.
But the rules were different, and he wasn't listed as an autistic kid. So this fucking thing is in our class, losing his shit every day. Not to call him a thing, but he was an issue. And those kids all the way through my childhood were just in class with you. And you dealt with it. And they weren't.
I talked about that before with them. I'm like, like we've come such a long way because I went to Coatesville, and they would just beat up.
They're
That's
not
the
lying,
thing.
though, and that's
like,
the thing.
They would fuck with them. There was this one kid who was afraid of goldfish. So all throughout middle school and high school, they threw goldfish at this kid, and fucked him, punched him up, and did all. That's what they did to autistic and spectrum kids. And now it's like they rally, like the kids rally behind the kids that are special.
Though.
And it's a great change, you know?
That is
that's
a great
awesome.
change. But then, let's be honest. I was picked on. I'm tough as fuck because of it.
Yeah.
I think you need a little bit. Like, if it's too... I mean, I don't want to be like, get off my lawn, old man shit, right? It's because it's dangerous to become that. I could. I'm old enough. I'd be like, what the fuck? These kids are pussies, goddamn it.
Yeah.
But I was a pussy. My dad called me a pussy. I remember being... Like, I own a roofing company, right? Listen to this story. My dad was a mechanic, the guy who raised me. And he was like, come here and work on this with me. I'm like fucking 6. And then I got some grease on my hand. I was like freaked the fuck out because I'm very prim and proper, as you might have picked up on. And he was like, you will never work with your hands. And that goes in my head, right? He's dead. Motherfucker, I got 3 companies. I have 3 companies. I bought 2 and I started 1 and I work with my goddamn hands. But I wear gloves every day.
Yeah, my dad would always call me a pussy.
That's
like,
the thing.
Not helping him cut the deer up. And I'd be like, oh, can I get gloves? Like, what are you, a fucking pussy?
That's right.
I don't know.
But you need that. And I remember I didn't like it when I was a kid and I would hear these things. I was like, that's fucked up. But no, it makes you a man.
Yeah.
Because I dropped out of college at 18 because I'm fucking so smart, obviously. I had a full scholarship. That was brilliant. And I went to a factory, and I'm working in this fucking factory. You know, I went to a factory. I read that Eddie Vedder worked in a factory. And I'm like, I'm going to work in a factory like Pearl Jam. I'll be amazing. Factory work sucks, by the way. So I work in this fucking factory at 18 years old. I'm just covered in shit and grime and all this shit. And then there were older guys, and they'd fuck with you. Not in a bad way. But I'm telling you, that shit matters. You gotta get a little bit of a thick coat to exist in this fucking world.
Busting, like, guys, busting
Balls is life, man.
Is, like, and I'm sometimes, since I'm so sarcastic and, like, you can't really tell when I'm fucking with you, I mean no harm or, there's no
malice.
No malice whatsoever to when I'm fucking with somebody, which is hard to come across. So it seems like I'm just a dickhead. But I do it out of, like, a love thing. Like, man, we're buddies. I'm going to fucking chop you down. But, you know, there's lines for sure.
Definitely, you don't
fuck
cross
with.
certain things.
But, you know, I love that when a bunch of guys are together and we're all fucking, that's my favorite time. When a bunch of dudes are standing around, we're drinking, and we're just going after each other.
And you don't like sports.
Yeah.
That's ironic, right?
That's what is sports. Like, you do the sports to have that.
He's not lying. Camaraderie is huge. And I'll tell you, men in this country lose it. They lose that camaraderie. I'm so glad you guys do a podcast together because you get to fuck around and you get to talk and you get to have like a friendship. Like, you love your wives. I dig it. I've had a bunch of them. Loved all of them. But you got to have your fucking male relationships. They're important.
That's the biggest thing that is a fight with, like, especially when you're first getting together. Like, eventually they're like, get the fuck away from us.
They don't want to fucking, they're yours. And
there's too many choices. Yeah, there's too many choices.
And when I would get married and then I'm in the fucking thing and then I get divorced. This happens all the time, right? And then I call my friends and they're all married dudes and I'm like, oh, I get it. I wouldn't get offended because you catch on. Their wives don't want them to come out. I'm a bad influence. I'm going to go fuck these dirty broads. They don't want to be here for that shit. So I get it. Oh, my God. One of the worst times ever. We took my friend out. And I don't drink, but he drinks. And he was so drunk that we just fucking put him in between his storm door and his front door. He's 30 years old. We're not children. And we close the door and we run away.
That's awesome. Now, if there's a Ring camera, you'd be getting some numbers.
And we were afraid of his wife. She was a crazy broad, man.
Yeah, I mean,
he still can't talk to me. I don't know. The world's changing. So back to the thing. It's nice that kids are like coddling more, but you got to be careful, man. You got to.
You got to find the like. You being able to fuck with somebody. I think like as kids and your friends. Not like to fuck with some random person, but like if we're all buddies, like look at this fucking bald asshole right here.
Exactly, dude.
But you have to be able to do that as kids. And what's nice is you're no longer quote unquote allowed to. You can't pick on somebody for something they can't control. So it's like if somebody's Jimmy's parents died and he's in 5th grade. If these kids are like. Making fun, you kids are ruthless. So somebody says something about that, it's like that was fucked up.
Now, if that kid was smart and he was clever, he'd be preemptively saying he would drop that'd be a bomb dropper for him. Like it must be great having parents. So, you know what I mean? Hopefully he could come around to it. Obviously,
no, but that's the thing. The adversity, you have to rise to it. You should be in the shitty situation, have the shitty end of the stick pointed at you, because eventually you're gonna sink or swim.
Also, every time somebody's cut you, you're like, fuck. There's a time period when you're drinking, you're getting fucked up, and you're busting balls, and somebody, either you cross the line or they're just sick of your shit, and they give you a cut, and you're like, oh, fuck. Damn. There is so much truth to that. I need to get my shit together. And then you're fucking hungover the next day, so you don't even get your shit together. And then next weekend you're drinking, doing the same thing. So.
Is your wife texting you to say, get the fuck out?
Not yet. She's gone. She went out with her friends. But
Smart.
there is I'm supposed to help move a bed. So.
All right, well, is that a lie?
No, I swear to God.
Are you cutting trees down somewhere?
I have to cut a tree down.
So. No, it's Brittany's.
It's
Brittany's grandma
hours.
was in the hospital. She's getting out, and they need a bed on the first floor at her grandparents' house. So we got to go.
You're nice. That's really nice.
We're nice guys.
Fine.
That's interesting.
Throw
Keep her
us
number.
in. All right, so we'll end it on this. Like your big thing right now is your band, your book, and your podcast.
The Vex on Vex podcast, available on the Podbean application on your phone under the Loud and Loaded network. It's pretty much everywhere podcasts are listened to. It's not just Vex on Vex podcast. It's a whole network. You have to find the Loud and the letter N Loaded network, and we're under that.
That's awesome.
Like a radio voice or what?
Yeah,
No,
put it on.
you obviously have a great
So,
voice.
Why,
Check
thank
out
you.
the StarSkream.
That's the name of the band.
12 feet tall and bulletproof. The book.
Yep.
That's out.
Yeah,
okay.
I brought you the book. Fucker exists.
And the Vex on Vex podcast.
Yes, sir.
This has been another episode of the Express Lane podcast with
Kevin Stan.
and Vex on Vex. Thank you. We really appreciate you coming
thank you.
out.
This was
Fucking
awesome.
awesome,
This
right?
was great. So much
Stay
fun.
frosty. That's my sign off.